What's up, guys? It is Corey from Super Comic Guru 9000, and welcome to my review of Attack on Titan Episode 13. And here I was thinking 13 was going to be an unlucky number and this wasn't going to be a good episode. It started out really slow with this really big recap, but as soon as the intro was done, the episode kicked into full friggin' gear, and this episode was just really exciting to me. It was just such an epic build-up, and I hate using the word epic because it's used so much, but it's really the only word I can use to describe this episode. And it all begins with the character of John, who's still running from all of these Titans. He's hiding out in one of the buildings, and his friend Marco is trying to help him, and we'll get to what happens to his friend Marco later. John gets some new 3D maneuver gear, and it looks like he's saved by Annie and a few others, and that's when you get that big first build-up to see that Eren is finally moving this rock. I love how everybody notices it at first when you get to hear the stomps and they all slowly turn to see him. It's really incredible here. And then all of a sudden they just pump themselves up because they realize they're going to have to defend Eren. This is their final chance for victory here. They have to go for it. And what's really creepy about all this, and I never really thought about this aspect, when they get close to the wall where Eren has to put the rock, there really aren't any buildings anywhere. So they're going to have to fight them on the ground. And considering how fast Titans can move, that's pretty scary. It's really devastating at first. And you know what? It is. A lot of soldiers lose their lives in this episode in a lot of really creepy fashions. But right when Eren's about to get to the rock is when things really pick up. There's this great action sequence that is just, God, it's so awesome. It's a great combo technique between Rico, who is just so awesome in this episode, and then Mikasa, who follows up with her 3D maneuver gear by going around the Titan and then coming back around and cutting it down. It was animated really well. And then Armin comes in and he makes Eren get really, really pumped up. And I never thought putting a rock in the hole would be the coolest, most epic looking thing ever, but they made it look awesome in this episode. One thing that I've mentioned in a few of my earlier reviews of the series is that the music in this series is just great, and it really showed in this one. There were a ton of different moments where there was instrumental stuff, and then there was stuff with lyrics, but it fit with every single scene, and it really pumped you up for everything that was going on. So now that the rock has been placed, they're trying to figure out a way to get Eren out of the Titan body, but he's being attacked by a bunch of other Titans, and that's when Captain Levi comes in, a member of the Recon Corps, and he's a really awesome character who was introduced a few episodes ago, but I was wondering when they were going to get back to him, and it looks like the Recon Corps have finally made their way. And this is where things really get interesting. They start to sort of segue into this like flash forward motion where they could see everybody's mopping up the rest of the Titans, and it took them a whole day to get rid of the rest of them. And there's a lot of really creepy scenes here that are really worth mentioning. First and foremost, there's this moment with John where he's walking down this alley and there's all these dead bodies all over the place. And he discovers the body of his friend Marco. And he has been bit in half, and it's just so it's so gory and disturbing, and I can't believe they got away with showing it. And it's a really emotional scene because then you get to see the coroner is coming over and she wants to know who he was, what his name was, so she can document it. And you can clearly see that this woman is like stressed beyond all hell and has seen some of the worst shit ever. But she's still continuing to move on. She's basically letting him know there will be time to mourn, just not for it now. There's much work to do. We also get to figure out what happens when a Titan like eats a lot of people and it has no more room in its stomach. It essentially pukes up this like giant amorphous blob ball full of like dead bodies, and unfortunately Sasha Blouse looks like she's a member of that mop-up team, and it's really gruesome and really disgusting. But the end of the episode is when we get our little hook for the next beginning arc, which involves Captain Levi, some dude by the name of Erwin, and then we have Eren, who's locked up in this medieval dungeon. He's all chained up. And apparently they know everything about Eren. They know who his father is, and they explain, well, you want to go to that place your father said, that basement, so we can figure out the secrets about the Titans, right? I have the key to that. Eren is a badass here. He demands to be a member of the Recon Corps so he can kill as many Titans as possible, and he's just got this batshit crazy look on his face that is just so infectiously awesome. And this is followed by Captain Levi deciding that he's going to take charge of watching over Eren. But he doesn't fully trust him yet, and if he does see him doing anything kind of weird, he says he's going to put him down. But I think this is the start of a really interesting relationship, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen here, because I want to see what's going to happen outside these walls. A lot of the action in the first half of this series has taken place inside this walled city, and I know there's a lot more to see out there. And they also hinted at one other thing that I think is really awesome. They mentioned the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan. They could possibly be similar people like Eren. There could be other people out there who actually transform into those Titans. They just don't know how to control it yet. The bigger question is, who are they? So I really loved this episode. I really cannot think of a single negative except for the very small part at the beginning where they had to recap some of the stuff. But that's there for people who haven't seen the series. But everything after that I thought was really, really good. Action-packed, an emotional roller coaster. There were so many little things to remember. It's one of those episodes that when I see again, I know there's going to be little things that I didn't see before. Just a really tragic roller coaster, emotional, badass episode. And obviously, it's a 10 out of a 10 for me. And if you guys are following the series, you must see this one. It is absolutely incredible, if only for the really well-played action scenes, the incredible music that's inserted into them, and all of the characters who are just really, really interesting, and Eren, who's slowly becoming one of my favorite protagonists I've ever seen in a series. So how did you guys feel about this week's episode of Attack on Titan? Did you like the action sequences? Are you interested to see what Eren's going to do? You can let me know with your comments below. And remember guys, you know the drill. Before you leave, make sure and give this video a thumbs up. It's one of the best ways to support our videos. And if you think Attack on Titan is hardcore, how about Berserk? Me and Christian just got done reviewing the third Berserk movie, Descent. If you guys want to hear our thoughts about it, make sure and check it out, give it a thumbs up, and make sure and subscribe. We'll see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out. After the Rico Mikasa action scene, I felt like I needed a cigarette.